everyone, and welcome back to Wicked Art. It's Wicked here, and we haven't done a fun draw Friday in a while. So I thought I would draw my absolute favorite villain from Marvel Comics of all time, and I just love his design and his character. So, first thing I'm going to do is we're going to start drawing the head. Now, I'm trying to squeeze in the eye here. And got a partial cheek right here. And let's go ahead and get in a nose. A little bit of that face there. Okay, so let's go ahead. Get that eye in there. We have that there. Get a couple of lines in there. And I'm going to draw his hair right here. Yeah, let's kind of curve that around this way. And let's see, right here. Off the top of the head. And get his bandana in here. Draw a little bit of the hair off. Let's see, we probably need to pull this down a little bit more. We'll have that there. And bring his mouth back. And what we have his teeth. There. A little bit of our chin. Draw the hair out. I'm going to kind of have him turned a little bit, so that's why I'm bringing it over. so much. And we'll kind of bring that around. We have that face. Now he has these kind of like cybernetics almost on the side of his face. I'm just going to pull that back right there. It's a little more rounded, so I'm going to put in that line work in. And pull it back just a little bit. Pull that back up into the face. Like that there. Bring that down. And give that a little edge there. And we can have another kind of mechanical piece right in here. Now I'm just kind of drawing in little doodads just to get that look in there. Okay. Now, get some more hair in here. Draw his shoulder armor. I may shorten that up. We're just going to see what it looks like. Bring that in. It kind of makes this like omega like symbol shape. So we're going to kind of curve that in that way. Let's see. Let's kind of bring that up that way some. And we'll bring out the rest of his hair that way. And we'll make adjustments to make it look more like it's, curving in, but I'm going to let that go for now. So let's come back over here. Bring that up. Kind of round that out. right here will come out and get that edge. Like that there. Okay, so like down here in the corner, I'll finish off this midsection of the pad and the shoulder armor. Kind of take it back. Just kind of round that. Take that across. And just connect that there. Close that out. And put one more in there like that. Okay, so I want this to kind of round past it a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and give it that edge. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's do a little bit of an edge here. We'll keep that even. Go back. And we can come up here. And we'll put that back close. Taking that back here. Now I want to get his tendrils that he has. Right here. And we'll get that to come down this way. And kind of box it. Get bigger as it's like coming out. Let's take that down the bottom of the page. Down there. And let's start pulling in the different sections. Give a little bit of an edge. That way it's got some 3-dimension to it. Okay. So I'm going to come out this way. Start to curve that out. We'll come back. Now we want them to look a little battle torn. I'll put some crack in his armor right there. And I'm going to get a little bit of another outside edge here. Like that. We can add in a few more damage points. Just again, this kind of rough up the armor a little bit. So once I have that, I want this to kind of come across this way. Okay. So a little bit of that going back there. Come back across. And then that just simply rounds over. And connect that out. So now I have a nice little shoulder plate put in there. Have some more of the hair coming down right here. Let's do another hair strand. And kind of put some waviness in the hair. Just so we can give it some overlap. Again, just kind of working out that shape in there. Now he always has this kind of high ponytail. Like that there. And then that hair obviously comes out. Take that down to here. And just going to curve that back. And like right down in here, I'm just going to make the hair go behind. And we'll have ponytail kind of flowing off this way. Okay, so we have a nice little setup there. Maybe have one more piece there. And we can have his hair coming from the other side over here. And have that kind of wrap back. Just like that. And maybe another piece. And go into the hair that way. Okay. So now we can add a little detail there. And then I want to get, other armor pieces worked in to the image. So like right here, you can have this piece kind of intersecting there, kind of holding the shoulder strap in place. Put a couple bolts on there as well. Have some connection buttons there. And right here, we have a small piece right there, and then we can kind of come out. that. It's going to expand that out. Like that there. And we can do 2 more. Right inside of here. So you can see how it's kind of curving down into its shape, right? So next thing is to get that third and last one. Right inside there. We can have a small strap connector right there. Okay. Now our hair is kind of drifting down towards where our chest is. So we can kind of divide that up there and bring a little line work here to kind of help us define our chest just a little bit more in there. And we'll just take that back. We have another kind of mechanical strap that we can put right in here. Connecting that up into its source. Let's see, let's kind of take the brow. Sorry, I don't mean to jump around, but I'm just trying to make sure I hit everything appropriately. So we can get our first ab kind of come in play right there. It's the way we're angling, we're kind of sloping down. And that's going to kind of run into the body that way. And from there, I have another strap kind of thing that comes out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to knock out the bicep. He's sleeveless. There. We have our tricep muscle. Going down into our elbow. Okay. So now I can continue my chest muscle here. I can also, let's add in another tendril piece right here. Kind of take that back and go away, almost like it's wrapping around the arm. Which means this area is no longer visible. Okay, and then we want, again, we're going to do smaller kind of cuts into it. It's because we're further down the line. So the closer we get to the end of the tendrils, the closer these lines are going to be together. Like that, so you can see how it's kind of flowing and then goes out the page. Okay, so now that I have that in there, let's get the rest of this. Go down, it's a strap. It's going to get smaller as it goes down, as well as his hip down there. We have that. Let's kind of cut the strap off there as well. And come down. That way we can kind of formulate the rest of the belt. That strap will go in there like that. We'll kind of block that area off. Okay. Let's kind of come out at an angle. Block that in. Okay, and again, we can give that an edge. A little bit longer. Like that. And then we can kind of break up a little shape here. Right there into that belt region. And we'll take that down into the belt as well. I can get my abdominal shape right in here. Just like that. Okay. Now we do want a little bit of metal going right there. So that'll lead out into the pelvic region, of which we can have the thigh kind of coming out there. And we'll have a little bit that's right there. We'll have that run down and the metallic piece right inside of there. Okay, and then we're going to work in another tendril. So we have our arms kind of back, and I want to kind of get into this negative space a little bit. So let's kind of come out this way, come down. Just like that. Again, we're a little bit further away so we can make it smaller. And as I work my way down, I'll get closer and closer together. And work another one in there. Like that. So it's almost like it's weaving around the body. So these ones are bigger, so we're going to space them out a little bit. Again, and give it an edge. Like that. Okay, so we want to do the same here. And as we get further down, we'll get them closer and closer together. Just like that. Again, give it an edge. Okay. So now, kind of down here in this forearm area, kind of put that armor in place. Right inside of there. Okay. So now I can do things to help add a little bit more detail in there with the hair. Probably don't need it touching right there. Okay, so we have that. And what I'm doing is I'm really just kind of going with the flow of it. Again, I tend to do things that go with more of like what looks cool as opposed to what's accurate. And it's just something you kind of, get used to as you go along with drawing. So, want a little curvature right here. So that fold in the ponytail. like that. Not really thrilled with this arm. And again, this is why we sketch lightly. Run that elbow down in there. Get that tricep shape now a little bit more defined. Okay. Now I am going to go through the process of inking this. While I do it, I'm just going to time lapse it real quick, and then I'll go into coloring it. All right. So I will see you when the time lapse is over. Okay, so I lied. We're not going to do the time lapse of it. I'm just going to go ahead and ink it. I'm going to turn this to a two-parter. I'm going to ink it in here, and then we're going to do Wednesday video of coloring it in Photoshop digitally. And you can see right here where on the edge of these things I'm kind of curving it out. That way to give it more of a round feel. And just pick different areas to kind of change the line weight and thicken that up. So like more towards these areas where it's kind of curving. Definitely on the inside. Just to show that kind of separation between the tendrils, that they're, flexible. Now you can go and get, proper inking pens. I just tend to use these little Sharpies that are just fine tip. I'm going to change the thickness right here where it's curving. And just kind of put it in. So like when it comes to inking, I mean, to each their own, honestly. I mean, there's certain things you want to do with, like, definitely, like I said, changing the line weight of your work. And with more of a proper, inking pen, I could probably work that in a little better as far as, adjusting the thickness. But I can show you how to, do that again in the Photoshop tutorial with it. Again, just kind of adjusting the line weight in certain areas just to make it stand out a little bit more. And it's a process. I know I'm honestly probably just talking to myself. So most people don't like sitting through these long tutorials. But for those of you that do take the time and sit through and follow along and attempt to learn, your art's only going to get better. I've said it probably half a dozen times that good art takes time. So it's not, something that's you're going to achieve overnight. And if you really want your work to stand out amongst others, you have to be willing to take what little extra time you need to make it stand out. So like for these tendrils here, it's because it's metallic is why I won't be putting as much inking detail into it. just going to run that to the edge of the page. Again, adjusting my line weight to just kind of, again, just make it stand out a little bit more. And run that off the page there. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now let's come in here, thicken the line weight up here. Right down here in the curve where it kind of goes into the groove on the elbow. And again there at the tricep, and then as I come around, I'm thickening it up a little bit. And doing it that way. So now here for the tricep, I can kind of put it in that way and add in some hatching down below. Okay, then we can come down here and we can add some shadow in there just because we're kind of being blocked off. Again, areas where I'm rounding, I'm tending to thicken up the line work a little bit more. Get that tendril right here. Kind of curve that in. And just work that in that way. Now I can come in here and kind of thicken that line weight right here. And then put some hatching right down in there to help bring that out. Let's go ahead and work this other tendril. Let's start going around. Again, right here at the groove, putting a curve to it. Like that. And then once I've finished this tendril, we'll come over and start doing the rest of those objects down at the bottom. So like right here, the bicep, come around, we'll kind of thicken it up on the curve. Okay, and now I have this kind of like overlap right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal that off. And again down here at the bottom. Like that. That way I'm getting a little bit of shadow work. I can put some hatching right there. Maybe we can thicken this end up a little bit. Like that. kind of do the same down here at the bottom. I'm just putting this in to kind of define the elbow. And then down here on our armor, I can kind of thicken right there on the curve. And then again, just add in a couple of hatching lines. And fill in the rest. Let's get the rest of this armor here. We'll kind of thicken it up and run it under. Again, just kind of helps show the overlap a little bit. Completely forgot this line here. Okay, so you can see how the process we're slowly building up different line weights and things like that. So now at this point, I will be turning to the time lapse. Just because it's going to take a while for me to finish this. But again, I will kind of explain at the end what we're going to do into Wednesday. But other than that, I will see you after the time lapse is done. All right. All right. So that does it for the inking. Now, the last step that I would do before we end this video is I would just go through and just erase out all of my sketchy lines, just so that it's nice and clean. We don't have any pencil marks. That way, we have a nice, clean, and refined image. Ready to go. All right, almost done. A few more spots. And we have a nice clean image. And that's going to do it for part 1 of drawing Omega Red. Again, if you're new to the channel, I really appreciate you stopping by. We're going to continue this in tomorrow's video on how to color Omega Red in Photoshop. Other than that, if you like what you saw and you stuck around long enough for the tutorial, I greatly appreciate you and think about subscribing. Also, leave me a comment, as it is super important. It helps me guide this channel. It's not for me and the views and all that other stuff. The comments help me draw the things that you want to see, okay, the things you want to learn. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you want to see next. Other than that, I really appreciate you stopping by. Remember to keep on sketching, and I'll see you in the next one. All right?